us now in the studio is Anthony Liberatore. He's the president of United Mutual. Good morning, Anthony. Great to see you this morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Now, you had a pretty long meeting a couple of days ago, that Tuesday, but today you really want to focus on the budget process and the different things that kind of bring that budget together year after year.
Yeah, I'd like to try to make some sense out of it for our residents. And we started off Friday afternoon. We had a 2-hour meeting, the board, and we were talking about this strategic plan idea. And one of our directors, Azara Asghari, she took it on herself to collate all the ideas from the other directors and try to collate them together for ideas about a strategic plan. And what we want to do, we're striving, to reach some kind of a consensus that all of our directors can sign on to. And so the idea of a strategic plan, and I prepared this, so I don't want to mess up anything, so forgive me for reading, but a successful undertaking of a strategic plan is not a standalone concept. A strategic plan has as its default a business plan. Among other things, the business plan deals with budget, organizational chart, and so out of the business plan, and I'll read on some more here so I get the ideas across to our people. It's a usually 15 to 20 page document, and it outlines how you will achieve your business objectives and includes information or reason for your existence and your purpose. And it should include your reason for moving forward, a budget, organizational chart, and a marketing strategy for the future. So you create that, now you have a business plan. Now, how are you going to achieve your business plan? Well, we want to look forward, so we create a master plan that goes out 15 to 20 years. And in a lot of these areas, if you outline it, there's they join together, these various circles. And so a strategic plan, or the master plan rather, let me get my notes here. A master plan shows overall development and concept that includes urban design, landscaping, infrastructure, service provisions, present and future land usage. And this looks forward 10 to 15 years. Now you've got your budget, we have our master plan. Now how are we going to start off? The strategic plan, I would say, goes 3 to 5 years, and if business changes, then you have to change with it. So the strategic plan is is the art of operating a specific business strategy and implementing everything, the results of the executive plan. In relation to the business plan overall, a long-term and master plan, it is the concept that focuses in integrating various development departments. For instance, accounting department, finance, marketing, and human resources. Strategic plan is essential and synonymous with strategic management. So now we have these concepts, and what we're trying to do now in United is to organize that, recognize that without a business plan, you don't have any money to do anything.
Right.
And we have to have an organizational chart. Who's doing what? We need to know who management is, you know, and the executive management, because management is so important, because whatever ideas we come up with, we rely on management to enforce them.
Right.
And as we are stakeholders, we're shareholders, we're not really staff. So I think it's important for us and the community to understand moving forward to try to organize our thoughts so that we can progress in an organized fashion and hope to achieve some success.
And you make a good point, because the VMS staff is directed by the boards. And the staff doesn't approve any policy or procedures. They make recommendations. But like you said, once you have that plan together, then you can direct staff to go in whatever direction that plan so chooses.
Yeah, it's so important for us to understand our role as shareholders, stockholders. You know, we have our staff, and this is the time of the year when we're doing budget. It's part of the business plan.
Right.
And this is time for us to get involved and then turn staff loose.
Yeah. Well, what do you think are the biggest challenges facing United as far as the budget?
Well, the biggest challenge right now is cost of living. And I say that generally because outside the village, things are going up.
Yeah.
And we're a retirement village, and people's incomes sometimes can't keep up with the increase.
Right.
So we have some people looking, we're investigating ideas of creating revenue, a revenue source. And we have some things we have to worry about. David Sterling, you know,
Yeah.
and laws, because we're a nonprofit, you know, so, and then insurance. This insurance is really hurting us.
Right.
So we have Dan Yost and people from all of the other three boards really working hard at this to try to solve this, because, you know, I hate this, but, you know, we want to live like royalty on a busman's budget. It's
Yeah,
kind of hard to
exactly.
do.
It's that champagne and beer budget,
But
right?
we're working on it, and my whole idea as president of United is to try. We have 11 people there with a lot of life experience to try to bring consensus. You know, we talk about fiduciary responsibility, but it's our responsibility to look at these different approaches or solutions and find out what is the best for United.
Right.
You know, that's my whole concept. That's why I don't try to have an agenda. I want to get us 11 together, get empirical data points on the table, euphemistically known as facts,
Yeah.
and come up with something. And I
Absolutely.
think we'll be successful.
Right.
I really do.
And the interesting thing too is United's insurance issue isn't really because of United's policy or bylaws. It's a nationwide crisis, and every HOA is suffering the same outcome.
Yes, and you know, one of the directors in Third said something really critical, because I was involved in insurance for years, that it's the industry, not insurance companies. And the industry is hurting. Last year, November of 2020, I did a study, and the insurance industry, not a company, was looking at $30 million for the Hurricane Maria out of Puerto Rico. We were looking at $130 billion for the two hurricanes down in the Gulf.
Right.
And when I signed off, the fires here in California were up to $1,900,000, and that's when I stopped doing it. Well, that all comes out of this big pot.
Yep.
You know, and these insurance companies got to fill the pot, and they have stockholders.
Right.
And if you look at the stock market, the insurance companies are doing well. So we are really earnestly, everybody is trying to find a solution to bring us forward and give us the coverage that we need, you know, for our assets, you know.
And that's what the residents need to really realize, is because these insurance carriers are national, and like you said, even though those hurricanes are happening all the way across the country, it affects their bottom line, which obviously then they got to generate a profit in some way and raise their rates. And then here in California, we seem to have wildfires. Fortunately, we haven't had an earthquake in some time,
Well,
but those affect the assessment.
Yeah, and what the insurance companies have done now, as a whole, they've designated California as a fire hazard. And so they got to fill that pot up with cash.
Right.
And now they can. But we really So we really have to give it some thought, and we have the people, the directors, to do that, and we have Dan Yost on staff, and we're really trying to find a solution because they've turned the insurance companies loose
Right.
on us.
Yeah.
And so we have to do something because we can't even buy the amount of insurance we need. And we have brokers. They cost us a lot of money, and then they go out to insurance companies. So it's a big burden
Right.
on residents.
Yeah,
Because it
absolutely.
comes down to residents. And our corporation, you know, without the United, I don't know, I say the United Corporation is the one that takes the lead on all this and represents the residents.
Right.
And so what my thing is try to get our directors to reach consensus on this. We have a lot of ideas, and Director Scar is going to hone them down, but we have to have a concept of the overall business plan for United and our master plan that looks forward 15 years. I mean, we're so close to Laguna Beach here, you know. Developers are licking their chops looking at this place.
Yeah.
And then we have our strategic plan that's going to start us on our way.
Does being a co-op, you know, are you finding hurdles because the United Mutual is a co-op compared to the condos that are out there?
Yeah, we have some issues because we are a co-op, and that is people who want to have a mortgage. We're dealing on a cash basis now because NCB can't package the mortgage and go to like Fannie Mae, you know.
Right.
So that is a problem for people trying to buy in here.
Right.
It's a problem for them. A lot of us came in like with cash, we're okay. But the other people trying to get in, it's really difficult.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it really is. And we can't even, if we had the money, we can't, the insurance industry will not give us the coverage that we think we need.
Right. Yeah. Property values have gone up quite a bit, and actually all across the country.
Yeah, that's living life royalty on Busman's budget.
That's right. Well, we thank you for joining us this morning. The United Mutual Board does meet on the second Tuesday of every month at 9:30 in the boardroom, and you also are on virtual as well, so any of your members can join you virtually, or come on over to the boardroom. It's always nice to see pleasant faces and be a part of the process.
We had a lot of people when we started the tree thing.
Yeah, right. It's amazing how you get certain people to show up. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. I know you have a very busy
Good to be here.
Well, that's Anthony Liberatore, and he's the president of United Mutual, and that is the United Report. Well, don't go anywhere after this break. We're going to bring you the 60 Up training system.